So do you rent a house or did you buy a house?
No, we bought a house.
Okay.
This was our initial first step. Um, the cost of the house here was very inexpensive.
Mm.
You'll probably chuckle if I told you the amount. We paid 25,000 for a two-bedroom uh,
Wow.
home.
I've looked at some real estate in the past that's right on the ocean for approximately $100,000. You mentioned the other area that you were looking in. You found something for 120,000 outside of Lyon. Was that near the
That's right.
beach? Was that near
That's
the
right.
beach?
On the beach, right
On
on the
the beach.
beach.
For so that's
One story house, three
yeah,
bedrooms, plus a casita.
yeah,
So the casita can be used if you want to have full-time groundskeeping or housekeeping. You can set up a family into the casita, but frankly, I would rent the casita and
yeah,
have it become a passive income opportunity.
yeah, yeah.
Um, there are lots available along the coastline for as little as 25 to $50,000.
All right, so today we are heading down to the beautiful country of Nicaragua with my new friend Mark Lamela. Mark, how you doing?
Ah, I'm all the better for your asking. Thanks, Ray. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to do this and share this information for our viewers. It's truly helpful. So let's start off first by you giving a little backstory about you, Mark, where you're from, and how you landed in Nicaragua, how you found your way down there.
Sure. I was born and raised in the New York metropolitan area. Uh, Got to see a lot of the United States. I probably visited and done business in 35 states, so I know pretty much what the U.S. offers. And then as a young man in my early 20s, I had the good fortune to do a lot of international travel. And so if you look at my passport, you'll see that I have visited both for holiday and for business about 45 different countries.
Oh, wow.
So I've
Nice.
been around the block, as they say.
Yeah. So, and how did you find Nicaragua? How did you eventually end up there?
Well, I had a project in the former British Honduras, which is now known as Belize. And prior to that, of course, had experience in making visits to Mexico. So I had familiarity with Belize and with Mexico and had an interest to explore further what Central America actually offered.
Uh-huh.
And I made visits first into Guatemala City to understand better about Guatemala, and then eventually came into Nicaragua to explore what was available here.
Hmm.
And since, because I've been in Nicaragua now for the past 4 years, Ray,
Okay.
I then had the opportunity to explore other Central American countries. So I've been to
Hmm.
Panama, I've been to Costa Rica, I've been to Honduras, El Salvador, of course, Nicaragua, and as I mentioned, Belize, Guatemala, and Mexico. So I know it pretty well.
Yeah, okay. Central America is really becoming a popular destination for a lot of people in the US and Canada. But here's the thing, Nicaragua, out of all the countries, is one of the least traveled to countries. People typically are going to Costa Rica, they pick Panama first, even Guatemala. And that's my question. So how of all why in your opinion do you think Nicaragua is more overlooked than the other countries?
It all comes down to what does someone want, right? Uh, if you go to Costa Rica, the beaches are beautiful, but I visited Costa Rica about 30 years ago, and it was an entirely different place than what it is today. It's become very Americanized, it's very expensive, and there isn't really what I might call the Central American value that I was looking for.
Okay.
Uh, Contrarian to that, you have a place like Nicaragua. Nicaragua is while geographically a fairly large country from a population standpoint, there's only about 6 million folks here. When you compare that to Guatemala City, which the city itself has 6 million people, you
Yes.
can see that there's a great difference. So
Okay.
if you're looking for a quieter, slower paced, highly economically viable spot, Nicaragua does offer some pretty good items on the checklist.
Not sure which country is the best fit for your move abroad? The Ideal Destination Finder takes the guesswork out of the process. It's a customized 22-question assessment that reveals your top 3 destinations based on your lifestyle, priorities, and budget. Instead of spending months researching and second-guessing, you'll get a clear, personalized shortlist to guide your next step abroad. And it could save you thousands by avoiding the wrong move. You can get started now at AdventureFreaksss.com. Just scroll down a little bit and you'll see the Ideal Destination Finder on the left. Just click it and start the assessment. I also put the link in the description, or you can click the QR code above. Now let's get back to the video. And I completely relate to that too, because I typically am attracted to the places that are off the beaten path, where they're not so saturated with tourism, because it does change a place once that occurs.
Yes. I always tell folks if they've visited a spot on vacation, they shouldn't equate that to being evidence that they would enjoy living there.
Yes.
A person really has to spend, in my view, at least a month and preferably 3 months checking a place out from a living standard, viability for your personal values and what you want your lifestyle to be.
Mm-hmm.
Nicaragua is spectacular because if you love the beach, you've got the Atlantic and the Pacific to choose from,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't find a lower cost valuation on the ocean anywhere else in Central America. If you say to me you don't like the beach, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you prefer the mountains and you like to have cool, fresh air. My wife and I recently visited Matagalpa and Jinotega, which are the specialty growing spots for coffee
Okay.
in Nicaragua. And so we kind of liked checking that out.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be a surfer dude and just kind of be a 60s love child,
Yeah.
and you want to do San Juan del Sur,
Yeah.
which is in the southern part of the country, because then you can be in a beach town and you can be a beach bum
Yeah.
and you can have a very laid back lifestyle if that's your thing.
Yeah. So there's something for everyone there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nicaragua is known as the land of lakes and
Mm-hmm.
of volcanoes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so you've got Omnatepe, which is an island that connects with the largest lake in the country. And my family and I are going to be visiting Corn Island and Little Corn Island this November
Nice.
because we're scuba divers and we like the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And Little Corn Island supposedly has terrific diving, and we're going to go check it out.
And the Corn Islands, are they Nicaraguan islands?
Yes,
They are.
both
Okay.
both both islands are a part of Nicaragua. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I've looked at those before for scuba diving options as well. And I ended up on Roatan and Utila in Honduras. But yeah, I've never been to the Corn Islands, but one day I'll try to get there. Now, what town do you live in Nicaragua?
I live in a town called Ticuantepe.
Okay.
Ticuantepe is about 40 minutes southwest of Managua.
Okay.
So it's convenient to get into the capital, to get to the international airports. But
Hmm.
Managua can be very busy. uh, very robust, difficult to navigate sometimes.
Hmm.
Uh, so we're out of the city and we prefer that.
Okay. So describe what your town is like. Is it just like a kind of a bungalow town? Are you near the beach? What is it like there?
I'm not near the beach.
Okay.
We are actually exploring a spot in Granada, the famous colonial town
Hmm.
here in Nicaragua. We have a real estate opportunity through our guy, Carlos of Carlos International. And we found an opportunity in Granada for, for $45,000 to
Wow.
acquire a home that does need renovation,
Yeah.
but I don't think it gets much cheaper than that. And to
No.
be in a prominent expat community and a very famous colonial town and institution in the country is
Hmm.
something that we're looking at. And we have also been exploring, because we're beach lovers, uh, waterfront property.
Hmm.
And we're always very surprised. We looked at an opportunity. Leon is one of the major cities north of Managua. Beautiful city, by the way.
Yes.
And about an hour west is the Pacific coastline.
Hmm.
And we found a house opportunity there that was about $120,000 and a very big parcel of land. The challenge is that we really like a reef system. I'm not a
Yes.
surfer.
Yeah.
So for me, that wasn't the best fit. And that's why we're excited about the Corn Island and Little Corn Island trip.
Okay. Because you might find something there.
Yeah, we're always looking.
Yeah, well, that's great, Mark. That's terrific. So you found something in Granada for about 45,000,
Yes,
and you said it needs a little bit of renovation. What type of a house is this? Is this in the central area of
yes.
Granada? Oh,
It's a central area. It's not outside of Granada. It's actually in the heart of Granada.
wow.
Uh, the current structure is a one-story structure. It's a
Uh-huh.
fairly big lot. The amenities that the Americans, the Canadians, the Europeans are accustomed to may not be available.
Hmm.
In my home in Ticuantepe, we had to add air conditioning and a hot water heater
Sure.
and a water storage and filtration system. So there's some things that we wanted to do to upgrade here.
Hmm.
And the opportunity in Granada would also require those types of additional refinements.
Hmm.
But the thing is, Ray, the cost of living here is really inexpensive.
Yes.
The cost of labor is really inexpensive. And so, you know, to buy air conditioning and to have it installed is really a low cost proposition. It's not as expensive as in the States or elsewhere.
Sure.
We're looking at possibly doing a two-story structure. We're involving an engineer and we're involving an architect to help us with the Granada opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you anticipate the build or the addition will cost? Have you had
Yeah,
any have you had any pricing projections yet?
yeah. Roughly, I think that we can do the entire renovation, upgrade it to an Americanized style of living with a two-story structure, including a porch and a balcony. We're looking at about 100 grand.
Okay. Is that included? So after you buy it for 45,000, then you added an additional 100 grand, or would that be included?
No, that would be included.
So you're talking about 60,000 to renovate it to your liking, and then you're all in at 100,000.
Yes.
Okay.
And for us to be able to do that in Granada, the property value will easily more than double.
Yeah.
And it's in an expat, one of the strongest expat uh, sections of the country.
Sure.
And so if we decided to turn it over or turn it into an Airbnb or whatever,
Yeah.
there's a lot of opportunity there.
Wow, that's terrific. So then, okay, so it's clear that rental, or I mean, real estate is very affordable there. I've looked at some real estate in the past that's right on the ocean for approximately $100,000. You mentioned the other area that you were looking in. You found something for 120,000 outside of Lyon. Was that near the
That's right.
beach? Was that near
That's
the
right.
beach?
On the beach, right on
On
the
the beach.
beach.
For so that's
One story house, three
yeah.
bedrooms, plus a casita.
Yeah.
So the casita can be used if you want to have full-time groundskeeping or housekeeping. You can set up a family into the casita, but frankly, I would rent the casita and
Yeah.
have it become a passive income opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, there are lots available along the coastline for as little as 25 to $50,000.
Yeah.
It's hard to find, but it can be found.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's incredible. I mean, and it's fun. It's actually exciting to be in a place outside of the country you came from where you see so much potential. Um, and it's like that pretty much all over the world. So, you got this Italian ancestry. Italy has remarkable properties all over the place as well. I mean, with views of volcanoes and the Mediterranean for, you pick your price, 40, 50, 60, 70,000. It's crazy.
Ray, I have Italian villages for you where you can buy for five uh, euros a house that needs some work.
Yes.
And if you're willing to put up with the Italian bureaucracy
Yeah, that's
in terms of getting your planning done and the construction completed, again, good opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Mark. Well, now you got us excited. Everybody's salivating about the properties and how affordable it is and how you can live on an ocean in Central America for little to nothing. So everybody needs a visa to qualify to Nicaragua. What can you share about the visa process and what is, if you know, the income requirement for retirees that are watching?
Sure. I've been in Nika for 4 years. And when I first entered the country, of course, it was on a tourist visa.
Hmm.
And I asked the immigration official for 90 days, which they've always been generous. They've never said no. So I got 3 months as a tourist to get to learn the country. Afterwards, every month I would have to go to immigration to renew my visitor's visa.
Okay.
Then we decided that this would be the place to set down roots. And so I went about applying for residency. And residency is not a challenge as long as you understand what the documentary requirements are for getting a visa. So, for example, they want to see your birth certificate.
Hmm.
Well, as it turned out, because of my travels and so forth, I only had a photocopy, and that was not acceptable.
Okay.
So I had to go get from the States a new birth certificate. But because it's a foreign document, it was not accepted by immigration here. They wanted it to be validated through an international service. So it's not getting a notary, but instead it's getting, if you give me a moment, I'll think of the word. It is a internationally recognized document that validates what would be a foreign document for the country. And the word is escaping me, Ray.
Apostille or
Uh, I'm sorry.
apostille or something?
That's right. It's an apostle. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it becomes apostolized,
Yes.
which is a form of notary, but it's accepted in the international community.
Hmm.
So I had to get apostles for two documents. I had to get it
Okay.
for the birth certificate, and I had to get it for my proof of income from Social Security and my pension.
Okay.
So that validated that I met the financial requirement here to apply as a pensionario, someone
Yes.
who's retired and living off of their pension.
What was the income requirement? Do you know for retirees?
Yeah. I want to be careful with this because government is constantly changing the rules.
Yes.
Originally, it was in the $1,000 a month range.
Yes.
I think now it may be as much as $1,500 a month.
Okay.
So that's something to check.
Yeah.
But frankly, uh, when you compare that to the local income generation of a typical Nicaraguanese,
Yes.
um, you're way ahead of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty close to what's happening in Central America. A lot of it is 1,000, 1,500 per month that you have to prove um, that you make each month with your pension or passive income to qualify. So
Yes.
great info on that. If people want to come down there, Mark, and just start out, check it out, they're going to do the visitor visa, tourist visa, and stay for 3 months and they want to get a rental, where do they go? How do they find it? What do rentals start out for? And where is a good base in Nicaragua to start? There, like you mentioned, Managua, there's Granada, there's Leon. These are really terrific places to start out to get a sense and a feel of the country. Where do you recommend they start out at? And what are the rentals going
Well,
for?
again, it goes back to the character of the potential retiree.
Hmm.
If they're a beach lover, they may want to check out San Juan del Sur, or
Okay.
north of San Juan del Sur are places like Rivas and Tola. And
Okay.
even further north, closer to Managua, Popoyo Beach is
Hmm.
spectacular. So if you're a beach lover, that's a place to check out. If you're not a beach lover, you prefer the mountains, you like the cool, fresh air, no need for air conditioning.
Yeah.
I mentioned Matagalpa. I mentioned Jinotepe. There are many spots because Nicaragua is mountainous in areas that one can check out. Um, I personally would not use Managua as my hub. I would not. That's my
Okay.
personal preference.
Okay.
Uh, Leon is a spectacular spot. Granada is a spectacular spot. Um, it is important that folks try to align what they think their lifestyle should be to the place where they're going to explore.
Yeah.
And rental here, Ray, is so inexpensive. You could probably pick up a rental for $200-300 a month and rotate 2 or 3 spots to get a character, a flavor, so that you have some options and some choices.
Wow. Okay. So you can find rentals for $200 to $300 per month. Are those, can you find Mark furnished places that have air conditioning for that price?
Um, Sometimes they have ceiling fans,
Okay.
sometimes they have air conditioning. And again, depending upon where you are, if you're in the mountains and you're paying $200 a month, you don't have to be concerned with air conditioning, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
When you're in the beach areas or, humidity here is a big deal for the most part, unless you're in the mountains.
Hmm.
So it's not that I'm not bothered by the heat, but I am bothered by humidity. And so we happen to have installed 2 air conditioners in the house here.
Hmm.
Um, that was important for us.
Yeah. Now you live in, you said Ticuantepe?
Ticuantepe, yes.
Okay. And so do you rent a house or did you buy a house?
No, we bought a house.
Okay.
This was our initial first step. Um, the cost of the house here was very inexpensive.
Mm.
You'll probably chuckle if I told you the amount. We paid 25,000 for a 2 bedroom
Wow.
home,
Wow.
and so it's perfect for 2 people.
Yeah.
We don't have any children living with us. My oldest daughter, as I mentioned, is going to be visiting with us in November. She'll have the other bedroom for her use. but
Hmm.
we're still exploring
Yeah.
what the next steps will be. We mentioned Grenada, for example, and the opportunity there, and we continue to look at the beach.
Well, how did you find this place for 25,000 in a place that like so that's really fascinating to me too because you live in a town that even people that explore Nicaragua haven't really heard of. So you identified and discovered a really cool town, Ticuantepe. Then you found a really awesome buy for 25,000. It looks nice just from the door and the ceiling and everything. I mean, you found a gem. How do you find it?
Well, here's the challenge, Ray, and I want to be candid with you and with your audience. When locals see you coming or me coming, they
Yes.
see a gringo.
Right.
They see a person that they believe
Has money.
is super wealthy,
Right.
millionaire, and right away the prices go up. Um, I remember looking at a piece of property actually in Ticuantepe, and the average acreage here, and they refer to it as a manzana. Uh, the literal translation is apples, but when we're talking about property, I think it's two acres or 2.5 acres represents a manzana.
Okay.
Uh, the going rate for a manzana is about $5,000. Well, when this particular seller saw me coming, the price immediately became $25,000 per
Wow.
manzana. So it's important to work with locals and let the local go in and try and see what the framework is for cost.
Gotcha.
And then once that's established, you can then go in and check out what you want. I use Carlos International for my real estate activities.
Okay.
Carlos Gutierrez is not only internationally recognized, but well recognized here in Nica. So I highly recommend him. He's the one that found the opportunity for us in Granada. And the asking price was 45,000, which I shared with you. But I actually spoke with Carlos last night and he said, I think we can close at 35. So
Nice.
this is indicative of the challenge that expats and gringos have, that locals see dollar signs and it's like having two different menus.
Yeah.
There's the menu for the locals and then there's the menu for the tourists. You just need to be aware of it, try and understand how to best navigate it. And so those bonus benefits of a lower cost can be available to you if you handle it well.
Yeah. So when you found this house that you're living in currently, did you use any online platforms or did you just contact this real estate guy and say, we're looking in these particular areas? Or did you use some kind of online platform to identify some some real estate that was for sale?
Yeah, I know that a lot of expats, a lot of Americans, Canadians, Europeans like to use online vehicles,
Yes.
and that may be fine as a first blush review of a market. But for me, the personal relationships are really important. And it took us about a year before we came upon Carlos, and he's been terrific.
Okay.
And he understands that I'm a bargain hunter. I don't want to pay $1 million for a
Yes.
place. I would rather find that beach spot for 25 or 50,000 and then build on it.
Yes.
And even if I spent 100 or 200,000 on it, it's already worth a half a million when I'm finished.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's important to me. I want to live well. I want to be comfortable, but
Hmm.
I also recognize that it is a wealth plan activity.
Hmm.
And so the value of the asset in the future. And look, I'm not going to be here forever.
Right.
I hope I get another 20 or 30 years. I hope so. But if I don't, I want to make sure that the legacy is available for my family.
Yeah.
And so that's important to me too.
Yeah, yeah, well said. And I think it's really important for the viewers to understand what you shared that when you do look on these online platforms, As opposed to having relationships and connections in the country, the value of that property is going to be significantly higher on the online platforms. It's going to drop significantly once you start working with somebody. So that's really great information to know, Mark.
Ray, I think that when an expat comes here and they see what's available and what things cost, that they'll immediately recognize that whatever their monthly uh, income is, that they are basically doubling it and maybe even two and a half times
Exactly. Yeah.
because of the low cost environment here.
Yes.
The quality of life is good. The food is fabulous.
Yeah.
There are things that you can't get. I'll give you an example. Back in the States, you have places like Costco and other uh, retail operations where you can get just about anything that you want. There are some restrictions here. We're very grateful that we found Price Mart, which is similar to Costco.
Yeah.
And so we're a member of Price Mart, similar to how you would be a member at Costco's. And that brings us some of the things that otherwise we might struggle to
Hmm.
find here.
Sure.
You're able to get your Amazon shipments consolidated and shipped to Nicaragua if that's what you want.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
there are workarounds.
Yeah.
And of course, if you have family and friends visiting, they can always carry an extra suitcase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things can be done.
Yeah. Before I get into like the utilities, groceries, and break down the costs, I mean, just based on what you've shared, Mark, for a person who's considering Nicaragua and they want to move, they're going, okay, I like what I'm hearing. I want to go down there and check this place out. All in with rent, when you buy food, go out to eat, utilities, all in, what would somebody need to make to live in Nicaragua comfortably right now, in your
I
opinion?
would say, on average, a family of two can easily manage between 800 and 1,000 a month.
Okay.
Uh, if if you live frugally, you could probably ratchet that down to 500 to 750 a month.
Wow.
And if you want to be a little bit more luxuriant, you could spend 1,000 to 1,500 a month. Um, you know, I bought an automobile in Guatemala because it was cheaper to do that.
Yeah.
I brought the car down here to Nicaragua, so we don't have to take the bus anymore. We
Hmm.
don't take the uh, in Asia they call them trikes.
Yes.
It's a three-wheeled transportation vehicle that are actually manufactured in Italy. Little plug for the Italian.
Yeah.
Uh,
Amen.
but so you can take, they call them motos. You can take the moto around locally. There are hiring of cars and buses. And of course, there's public bus transportation as well. So the infrastructure affords, people arrive at the airport, they don't have a car. How do I get to Granada? Well, they hire a car
Yeah.
and they get there, and it's safe, it's reliable, and it's cost effective.
Yeah. Yeah. So you ended up buying a vehicle, you said in Guatemala?
Yes,
Was there an
the
export tax
vehicles,
that was there an export tax?
the government here is brutal when it comes to cars.
Yes.
I got to be honest, right?
Yeah.
So we looked at buying a car here, and we were surprised that a used car with, a recent, with a relatively recent year, was double, triple, or even quadruple what it would be elsewhere.
Okay.
So we then checked out opportunities in Guatemala, and we saved at least 50% and perhaps as much as 75% for the car.
Huh.
Then we have to bring it into the country. There is an opportunity under your residency to bring assets into the country
Hmm.
that is not necessarily cost prohibitive. Those are
Okay.
the kinds of things that you want to explore
Sure.
uh, before you make the move. And I can share with you a law firm that I use if that's of interest
Yes, for
for those
sure.
sorts of things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So then you ended up finding something in Guatemala, a vehicle that gets you guys around. Um, how did is it? Was it a used vehicle, brand new? Did you go to a dealership? How
No
much?
dealership.
Okay.
It wasn't brand new. Um, uh, it's it's a Hyundai Elantra,
Okay.
so it's not a Mercedes or a
Yeah.
BMW, but it gets me from point A to point B.
Yes.
It was a reasonable cost. I think we paid 5,000 for it,
Okay.
and we don't have to take the bus system here, which is really the objective to have our own transportation.
Yeah. Now, do you have a license in Nicaragua?
I don't.
Okay.
That's a really good question. I have my U.S. license
Mm-hmm.
from the state that I last was licensed in, and it's good for 10 years. Uh, I kept reading that I needed an international driver's license to operate in Central America. And I don't want folks to take my word for it. I can just share my experience that I have not had challenges with my US license. And
Okay.
I do not have an international driver's license. I know that many places advise that you should have it, particularly if you're driving cross border.
Yes.
There are folks that want to drive from America through Mexico and
Right.
uh, uh, into Guatemala and so forth. But I didn't do that. I flew.
Okay.
Although I have taken bus from Belize into Guatemala and into Nicaragua. I have done that.
Okay. All right. All right. Great information. Okay. So let's break down some of the
Okay.
costs for the viewers now. So you got this two-bedroom house. How much do you pay for utilities per month, like electric, water, or anything else if you use propane? What do you think you budget per month on utilities?
The unmetered water bill here is a flat $30 a month.
Okay.
And we're in a neighborhood that does not meter electricity, nor does it charge for electricity.
Wow.
So actually, I have no electric bill to pay because this is a particular section in Ticuantepe that gifts, if you will, the electrical cost.
Okay.
For internet, it's about $30 a month. We have a dish on the roof. It's high speed. It's fabulous.
Okay.
So no internet challenges.
Yeah.
Um, I understand that people can pay as much as $100 a month for electricity, particularly if they're running air conditioning. Um, and of course, the the building philosophy here is that windows are easily to open. They want cross ventilation. Sometimes they'll have fans. And for some, that's sufficient.
Yeah.
Not for me, but for others.
Yeah. All right. Okay, thanks for that. So how much do you pay for a cell phone down there?
Um, the the cell phone plans are relatively reasonable. I think our out of home plan that covers us as we're roaming around, I think is about $30.
Okay.
So it's not that expensive.
All right. And then groceries. How much would you say you two budget for groceries per month? As groceries have increased pretty much all over the
Yeah.
place, but how
If
are they
if
down
you're
there?
buying at a price mart, it can be expensive.
Okay.
If you're buying at the local market, you'll be shocked at how inexpensive it is.
Okay.
We probably pay not more than $300 or $400 a month for food for two people, and we live really nicely.
Okay.
Um, 5 course meal, 3 course meal.
Yeah.
Everything is fresh. That's the other big advantage here. There's no heavy use of pesticides. Everything is locally grown.
Hmm.
So if you focus on what's available locally, the chicken, the pork, the beef. It's shocking how inexpensive it is
Hmm.
in comparison to certainly the US.
Hmm.
Uh, Eggs are dirt cheap. And if that's too much money, you get your own chicken coop with
Chickens.
some
Yeah.
hens and let them lay eggs, So that's a common practice here. It's a common practice here to plant uh, banana or platanos trees, to plant avocado and other, they call it lemon, which is
Hmm.
actually the green lime
Hmm.
tree. It's hard to find yellow or amarillo lemons here. Those are
Oh,
considered a luxury item and difficult to
okay.
find.
Interesting.
So you'll come across that sort of stuff.
Okay, we touched a little bit, you did touch a little bit on transportation, where you have taken the public bus system. You also bought a vehicle, a used vehicle to get around. You rely on that now. But when you do take the public buses, how affordable are they in getting
Oh,
around?
it's
And
the buses are incredibly affordable. You're talking about maybe 50 Cordobas, and 50 Cordobas is, of course, not $50. It's not even $5. So it's very inexpensive.
okay.
Um, there are basically two types of buses. There's the very large public bus, that's
Hmm.
the least expensive. And then there are these bus vans, which can end up being a little bit like a sardine can
Yeah.
as the trip progresses. I've been on both. The minibuses are more expensive because they have less stops. The minivans are a little more expensive, less number of seats, but they're much more direct.
Okay.
For example, if you wanted to go to what's called Metro Centro, which is one of the big malls in Managua, I might end up, if I'm on the minivan, with maybe 10, 15 stops. If I take the public bus, which is less expensive, a lot more seats, a lot more room, it gets me to the same place, but it will probably take at least a half hour in more time,
I see.
and the number of stops are significantly more, maybe
Okay.
double or triple.
Okay.
So, but the system works, and you can get from point A to point B inexpensively. I still, of course, prefer a car, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I tell folks that I'm 40 minutes from Managua, the distance seems grand, but the truth is, it's not. Vehicles here are seldom going at 50, 60, and certainly never 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
They go considerably slower. And the way in which the highway system operates here, um, they still have a number of circles, of rotundas, and that slows the flow of traffic. So things move slowly. The rotundas slow things down, the circles, and but again, you can still safely get to where you need to go. Their sense of time here, and I think this is true of most of Central America, is a little different than maybe my sense of time as a former New Yorker,
Yeah.
as an American. When I say I'm going to be somewhere at 9 o'clock, I'm there at 8:45, so I won't be late.
Sure.
When they say 9 o'clock, they could mean 9:30 or 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
and for them it's usual and not a big deal. So you
Sure.
have to have that kind of patience given the
Right.
cultural difference.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great info. Okay, moving into we talked about groceries and how much you guys budget for groceries. How often do you eat out? I mean, in your town, can you walk to any restaurants, local mom and pop restaurants? And what does a meal cost there? How often do you go out to eat?
If you are a purveyor of what is often called street food, you can pick up just about anything on the roadways It's usually homemade, good ingredients, and the cost is surprisingly inexpensive.
Hmm.
You know, you can pick up something for a buck or two,
Yeah.
and it's like nothing. If, on the other hand, you say, no, 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 I prefer not to have street food, I want to go to a restaurant, that's fine. And you're talking about spending anywhere from $5 to $8 for a meal. So
Okay.
it is really inexpensive. There are two restaurants of mine that I enjoy here very much. One is called Mambo Italia, which is in uh, Hinotepe, which is about 40 minutes south of me.
Okay.
And it's one of the few places that has authentic Italian food. And being of Italian heritage, that was something that was important to me.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, and their meal costs are running probably $25 a person. So it's
Okay.
it's a little bit more pricey.
Yeah.
There's also a favorite seafood restaurant of ours in Managua, but they
Hmm.
also have a branch in Leon, and they also have a branch in San Juan del Sur
Okay.
called Summers.
Hmm.
And Summers restaurant is again really the elevated top end of what the country offers. And so you're talking about spending $15 to $25
Hmm.
for one person for their meal,
Yeah.
but it's worth the dining experience. It's quite good.
Sure.
Seafood here is popular because of the two coasts and the
Yeah.
number of lakes. Uh, if, however, you have a hankering for Chinese, you can get that here. There
Hmm.
is a fairly significant China population in country. Um, if you're someone that enjoys the American fast food franchises like Pizza Hut or McDonald's or Burger King, that's all here as well. Although it might be slightly more pricey than
Sure.
what you would find in the States.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And for the meals that you mentioned that are $5 to $8, what do you typically get in a meal for $5 to $8?
Sure. I could tease you and say it's nothing but frijoles and arroz, which is beans and rice, but I'm teasing you. Um, you're talking about, they have a fish in the lakes here called pargo. And pargo, if it's a small size, can be maybe 8 to 10 inches long. If you get a good sized one, it can be as much as 20 inches long. So you're getting a grilled or a fried big piece of fish with vegetables, of course, your drink of choice. Uh, Anyone who has not tried Tonya, which is the beer here, and I've had beer all over the world, and I can tell you, Tonya beer is quite delicious.
Uh-huh.
Um, but fortunately, they also have, given my European heritage, they also have great red wine, and none of it is local. It's all imported.
Hmm.
You know, it's coming from Argentina and
Sure.
Chile and from France and the States and Italy.
Yeah.
But you can find it here, and it's reasonably priced.
Yeah.
That's a price mart type buy
Yeah.
when you're interested in securing that type of food item.
Yeah, I'm surprised that are there any vineyards at all in Nicaragua? It seems like the landscape is ideal for it. With the volcanic soils and the breezes off the coast, you would think it would be perfect.
Yeah, I don't see any real grape cultivation
Yeah.
here. Of course, the big food item, their coffee here is spectacular.
Yeah.
So that's very popular. And of course, uh, the fruit trees and the types of fruits that you can get here are traditional of the tropics.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're getting your avocado and your guava and your passion fruit and all of these goodies. And it certainly beats store bought, prepackaged, and processed juices
Sure.
that you might get back in the States or elsewhere.
Yeah.
like Canada or Europe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much healthier, and frankly, really inexpensive.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Lime here is a very popular food additive. It's very popular for a limeade, if you
Hmm.
will, similar to lemonade, but only made
Hmm.
with lime. And it's very refreshing, delicious. Depending on where you are in the country, it can be rather warm.
Yeah.
It is a part of the tropics. And so it's refreshing to
Yeah.
get that kind of a juice in you.
Yeah. Okay, great. And how often would you say that you eat out per week?
I would say now we're probably out to eat 3 times a week minimum,
Okay. Okay.
often more.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. All right. And then now we're on to in your neck of the world over there, what do people do for fun? What are the things to do? Now, you're kind of outside of the city. We know there's a lot of beach activity, obviously some hiking. Are there any, you know, theater, cultural things that people can participate in? Dance
Sure.
companies, anything like that?
If you said to me, Mark, a lover of opera, you would be out of luck. If you said that I'm a lover of the ballet, you're probably not going to find that here. If you said that you like festivals with local music, that's pretty easy to find.
Okay.
Um, they have a great number of holidays. One of the things that surprised me, being an American, I'm used to Fourth of July fireworks.
Yeah.
And so on the Fourth of July, fireworks are a common thing. Here, it seems that fireworks are the go to activity for just about any event.
Hmm.
So they're often celebrating some of their special holidays with fireworks.
Hmm.
Um, there's a tremendous amount of outdoor activities to do here. Someone can hike, you can zip line. Uh, there's really a variety of things that you can do. Of
Hmm.
course, by the beach, whether you're windsurfing or surfing or snorkeling or scuba
Hmm.
diving or fishing, there's a whole array of activity.
Mark, do you participate in any of that yourself? I mean, do you do snorkeling or do you go fishing? Do you do any of that?
Yeah, I I I have matured,
Mm.
Ray.
Okay.
My scuba diving days are probably at a close,
Okay.
just because of the physical demands, and I don't want to press my luck. But
Hmm.
snorkeling is an activity that I still enjoy and do often.
Hmm.
When we go to Corn Island and Little Corn Island, I will be snorkeling with the family. I look forward to that. And I used to be involved with underwater photography.
Okay.
So there's a tremendous amount of activity
So
that one
you're a
can engage
certified
in.
diver.
Yes. So I'm PADI certified. I'm actually an advanced certified
Okay.
diver, and I my daughter has been encouraging me to go diving with her on this upcoming trip, and I'll have to see.
Yeah.
Uh,
Why do you feel like you're not up to it anymore? Why
yeah.
do you say that? I'm curious. Because you
Well,
look like you're in great shape.
thank you. You're very kind. I guess the $100 that I slipped you before we did
Yeah,
the
it's
podcast
working.
paid off.
Yeah, I had to slip that
Kidding
in.
aside, um, mentally, I feel like I'm, you know, in my 40s. I feel very crisp, precise,
Yeah.
no mental problems. Physically has been a little bit of a different story.
Okay.
Um, I feel the aging.
I see.
When it comes to arthritis, joint pain,
Okay.
uh, and I'm working on. I swim once a week for 2 hours,
Hmm.
which helps me loosen up and keeps me fit. Uh, but scuba is, of course, a very physically demanding thing. Your heart has to be in really good condition. And frankly,
Hmm.
knock on wood, right now, there's nothing wrong with my heart. And I
Yeah.
want to keep it that way.
Yeah. Okay. So, and you swim, where do you swim? Do you swim in a pool or you swim in the ocean?
I prefer the ocean, but Tequantepe has a public Olympic pool,
Okay.
and that's where we go to swim. And we usually
Okay.
go on Sundays, and I swim for about 2.5 hours.
Okay.
It's
Is
good
there a
stuff.
membership you got to pay to participate in that or?
Yeah, there's a fee that we pay for admission and use.
Okay.
I think it costs us, I don't know, I want to say $20 a month, something
Okay.
silly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Great info. Okay. Mark, the last thing we have, all of the viewers are always concerned, especially coming from the US, about healthcare.
yeah,
Moving to healthcare, the retirees that watch, they're wondering, what do you do for healthcare if you move to Nicaragua? And is it affordable? Do they have a public healthcare system? Can you pay an insurance at a decent fee, which gives you comprehensive insurance? What can you share about it?
sure, sure. Nicaragua does have a public healthcare system.
Okay.
I have actually visited one of the local hospitals here, and I'm going to be honest with you, Ray. It's not something that I recommend
Okay.
because the quality of those systems are not what Americans or Canadians or Europeans would be accustomed to. That's
Hmm.
the challenging news.
Okay.
However, there is good news. Vivian Payless, which is a very well-known hospital here in country, which is just south of Managua. It's about 20 minutes from me, uh, is a world-renowned hospital.
Okay.
And they speak English. Their diagnostics are spectacular. Their costs are way below what I would pay in America.
Yeah.
And I have found I have two doctors that I see once a year, and both of them are extraordinary.
Okay.
And frankly, they're actually better than the doctors that I was using back in the States.
Hmm.
So that's how pleased I am with them.
Hmm.
They are knowledgeable, up to date, contemporary, willing to look at alternative medicine approaches for things. And I've been very fortunate in that regard. You can get, there's two things here. I'm on the Social Security system for the US. I officially retired at 62.
Okay.
And there is out of country benefit that you can get for reimbursement, as I understand it. I have never used it, but I understand that it's available, and I would encourage anyone to explore that carefully if they were going to live outside of the States. The other thing is that there is expat health insurance that's available from a variety of places, not just American carriers, but British carriers as well. And the costs are relatively reasonable. So uh, while I personally don't do that because I have an HSA and I don't need to uh, bother with that nonsense,
Hmm.
I have an account that I built over my career that is well funded.
Okay.
And so if I need money, it's available.
So you pay out of pocket.
Yes.
So
But
this,
I have to tell you, it's a doctor's visit can cost $30 to $50 here.
sure, sure.
Uh, and so that would be my copay back in the
Right.
States.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
for me, it's not been consequential.
Yeah, the visits are affordable. It's if something happens, if you have a heart attack and you're stuck in an intensive care unit in Nicaragua for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 days, what would that cost be? And is there insurance that covers that? You're saying that
Yeah.
there are some private insurance
Yeah, your expat
offerings?
insurance can cover those kinds of things.
Okay.
Of course, the more that you want it to cover, the more expensive the policy becomes.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, there is coverage under Social Security, Medicaid, uh, that does provide uh, reimbursement.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and I'm not that familiar with it because I've
Yeah.
never used it. Knock on
Yes.
wood. Hope I never have to. But folks that are considering coming, living outside of the United States or Canada or Europe, should take a look at that.
So this is the second time I've heard something like that, where somebody said that they got reimbursed overseas for getting injured or something from Medicaid, but
Yes.
it's not everybody has been successful doing it. How do you look into that? How do you find out if they will cover you in a place like Nicaragua?
There are specialists, they're like consultants.
Okay.
You may have to pay them a few bucks, but they can guide you through the Medicaid uh, maze, if you will,
Okay.
so that you know what would I qualify for and what I would not qualify for.
Hmm.
That's something worth looking at. And of course, the expat insurance itself, which is another layer of protection,
Yeah.
is available. Um, if God forbid something happened to me, as I mentioned, I'm being honest, I would prefer not to go into the public hospital system, although, if I had to, I had to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I prefer to go to a private hospital like Vivian Payless,
Hmm.
where I know the care is just the best in the country and
Yeah.
rivals any of the big name hospitals in the US.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great information. And again, you're saying there are Medicaid specialists that you could probably look into hire, and these guys would probably give you some guidance as to how you could be
Yes.
reimbursed if something happened. Great information. Mark, that's everything. Is there anything else you can think of that we didn't cover that could be beneficial for the viewers that are considering moving or retiring to Nicaragua? Anything else come to mind?
The only thing that I should say is you don't know unless you try. And so I would encourage someone not to just jump and make a permanent move, but certainly to come in as a tourist, try to get a month up to 3 months under your belt to see the country, experience the culture, see if it's a fit. The pace is different. The food is quite good. There are some things that I miss. Um, for example, I'm a lover of apple pie, and I can't get apple pie here easily.
Yeah.
Uh, we have gotten it, but it's difficult.
Hmm.
Uh, it's much more easy if we were in Guatemala City, for example.
Hmm.
So there are some things that I miss. Believe it or not, there is live turkey here for Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
You can have a local turkey slaughtered for yourself if that's what you want for you and your family.
Hmm.
Also, I mentioned Price Mart. They have turkey available. So you just have to look for the things that you enjoy, be willing to explore, be open minded, but be sensitive culturally.
Yeah.
Uh, you have to have patience.
Hmm.
This is not New York City.
Yeah.
It's not the typical American grind. It's a much slower pace, but I would encourage people to explore it.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Well, great information. Mark Lamela, thank you so much for taking the time to share all this incredible information about Nicaragua. I truly appreciate it.
My pleasure, Ray. You're the best. Good luck, good continued luck with your program, and keep reaching out to folks who want to know about living abroad.